My name's Aaron Dismuke. I am a voice actor and also an ADR director and script adapter down in Texas at Funimation Entertainment. I've been, as far as the voice acting, I've been in shows like Blood Blockade Battlefront, Devil is a Part-Timer, Fullmetal Alchemist is probably what I'm best known for. Yes, it is. And so far I have only seen one part of it, which was this really cool place called the Cactus Club. It's just across from the convention center. And it was kind of fun there. They had some really cool music, and then they also had like black and white screens that were playing like old sort of 50s movies. And there was like, whenever I was there waiting for my food, because I was getting it to go, they were like dancing and singing, and it sounded like they were lip syncing to all of this party music, and it was really funny. Yeah, so I was 9 years old. Well, I guess we could start it at when I was 7 to 8 to 9. My cousin, Justin Cook, was a director at Funimation and also a voice actor. He was like Yusuke Urameshi in Yu Yu Hakusho. He basically was giving me a bunch of Yu Yu Hakusho and Dragon Ball Z DVDs, and it went from that to him being like, hey, you read, right? And I did read a lot. Like in 3rd grade, I was pretending that I could read Lord of the Rings, at least. Like I was turning through every page of those books and acting like I understood. So I guess that made a good impression, because he brought me in, let me try a very small role in a show called Fruits Basket, and then he let me do Hero Soma for Fruits Basket, which was a little bit bigger. And from that point on, I was kind of just able to audition up at Funimation. And I wasn't that good, but I did have the advantage of being the only real boy, because normally they just used women for young boy parts. So it was like, you know, should I use someone who can act, or should I use a real boy? And so I had kind of a niche there that nobody else could fill. Yeah, I can offer several. First of all, auditioning is nervous pain, and it'll make you really, really scared. And the only way to brace yourself for how nervous you'll be whenever you go to audition live for anything voice acting related, because what happens is they put you into this little silent whisper booth, and there's a little window, and when you look outside of it, there's the meanest looking 2 people alive, and those are your director and your engineer, and they're just like, entertain us, impress us, and they're like, and you're gonna try to pour your heart out, but you're gonna be stumbly and nervous, and then there's gonna be this long silence while they talk to each other about what you did, and then they'll turn on the mic and they're like, okay, that was pretty good. Could you emphasize this word? And then you're in silence again, and you just have to go, anyway, it's scary. So prepare yourself by doing theater first, because that's even scarier, because there's a whole crowd of mean people. Everyone looks mean when you have to perform. That was the point there. Anyway, do that. Also, if you make a 1-minute voice reel, that is really good for getting online work. I have several friends who have done pretty well for themselves off sites like voices.com, voices123. I haven't done it myself, so I can't personally vouch, but I've heard good things. So voice reel is important for that, and it's also important for whenever you want to get auditions at studios like Funimation or Bang Zoom, presumably. You can send those voice reels in addition to your acting resume and ask to be put onto their audition waiting lists. Don't look up or ever type, I want to voice act for Funimation. Look up, I want to audition for Funimation, because that's what a career actor would look up. They wouldn't look up voice act, they would look up audition, because they're already actors. Yeah, so I started writing short stories at the end of my college career, even though I was a history major, and I sent one of them to the head writer over at Funimation, and he, John Bergmeyer, put me onto a show called Fairy Tale. From like episode 150 on, I'm writing maybe half the episodes, a little less. And my lead writer was also the director of the show, and his name's Tyler Walker. And he liked my style, I guess. And he was like, hey, you're writing these okay? Do you want to direct some of it? And so he brought me in to assistant direct for him. And it was less scary than I thought it would be because I had written all the words, and so I knew how I had imagined them to be said in advance. So, and also I was directing really, really good actors like Lucy Christian and Todd Habercorn. So they didn't really need a lot of help. Yeah, so I went from that to doing Showman Sample, which Tyler again helped me with. He did all of the scheduling, and he cast the show, but I did the vast majority of directing on it. And from there, I was able to do Cheer Boys and then Nambika, and now I've done a pretty good amount, and I enjoy it, yeah. Looking at the show afterwards, I prefer directing because it feels like, you know, you get to sit back and enjoy like, you know, a tapestry of things that you hadn't been able to, you put it all together. You picked the voices, and it could have been very different if I had chosen to cast different people or if I had chosen different takes or different lines. And so it's really rewarding to look at the final product as a director. As an actor, none of it's my responsibility though, so that's really nice. I can just, like, as an actor, I'm finally at a point, because I've been doing it for like 15 years now, so I'm finally at a point where I can just kind of forget about myself and just slip into the character and just like sort of let the technical aspect of trying to match flaps and stuff, I can kind of put on autopilot, and I just think about how I would feel if I were them, which is really nice. And then the directors, you know, I still need a director because they're like basically a voice, they're like my conscience whenever I'm doing this. So it's fun to be someone's conscience, but I think it's more fun. It's almost like playing an RPG at this point whenever I'm acting, at least in anime, because I can see the character and their expressions and stuff, and like pretend it's mine. It's fun. Probably Urushihara / Lucifer in Devil is a Part-Timer. He's just a real couch potato, and that's what I am. Yeah, I really enjoyed him. I also enjoyed doing Von Fennell in the redub of Escaflowne. He was like probably the biggest challenge role I've had because he was a little bit, or at least he was trying to be manlier than any other character that I've played. I don't think he really was, but he was going for it. And so I was going for it, and like we had to make choices about when to let someone who really wants to be strong look weak. That was fun. I play a lot of video games. Yeah, I recently played Limbo and Inside, Undertale. I started a game called Momodora's something something recently, but I forget what the rest of the name was. And right now I'm playing Pokemon Insurgent, which is an probably illegal fan game, but it's non-profit, so I support it. Anyway, yeah, thanks for coming, and I hope I get to see you, and keep watching anime. It's a fun stuff. It's a fun stuff. Let that be the quote for this day.